Hey, Shalom, I want to start for souls by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Right, that is to say, all praise to Yahweh and the name of Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, sincerity, so truth and sincerity. Right, this is just a quick one on this Simone Biles. Right, that's that American gymnast. Basically, she's what you call it? Uh, she's won every gold medal at what you call it? U.S. championships, right? It says basically it goes on. It says Boston. All the gold medals for Simone Biles. Biles in the second meet of her comeback won a record 5th U.S. all-round title and swept the 4 apparatus titles combining scores from Friday and Sunday at TD Garden. I'll go jump to the point. It says the 4-time Rio Olympic gold medalist became the first woman to win all 5 golds at the National Gymnastic Champions since Dominique Dawes in '94. Right, so that's basically that was Dominique Dawes was also a so-called black woman before that. No, it's going to be a quick one going on the fact that, look, man, Jake is faster, Jake is stronger, Jake is smarter. Jake is better than all these heathens, man. Right, Jake, and which is why it pleased them so to have us in slavery. It pleased them so to what do you call it? To see us in this low condition that we're in. Right, it says Matthew 5:13 says, "Ye are of the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men." Right, so the point I wanted to get there is ye are the salt of the earth, right? And everything is crap without Jake, man, right? You go into these places where it's just Edomites, maybe a bar or whatever, it's just Edomites in there, right? The place is dead. There's no spirit in there. Why? Because the Lord is giving that spirit unto to Jake. Right, and the thing is, when Jake ain't there and it's just Edomites, what these Edomites do, they like bumping Jake music. Right? I remember the first time I ever went to a club way back when, right? I was surprised at just how much these so-called white people knew all the lyrics to the songs. And I'm just there like, wait there. I don't even know the lyrics to these songs, right? Why showing you that these people love bumping Jake style, doing everything that Jake do. Why? Because Jake is better, Jake is faster, Jake is stronger, right? Jake is smarter. And smarter, and that's the one thing Esau clings on to. You can dance, but I'm smarter than you. Right? But that's not even true. Right? This education system is designed specifically to be tailored for Esau. Right? And then look at the schools. I mean, I Spirit had it where, but my primary school was a predominantly white school. Predominantly, I would say, but I was young. I can't really say, but it was a predominantly white school, white middle class school. Right? And my secondary school was a predominantly Jake school. Right, working class, and I can tell you that middle class white school, them children got a different kind of teaching, man. Right? That secondary school, that was some old bullshit, man. Right? So Esau can't even come with that whole, because you give Jake the same opportunity as these devils, right? In terms of education, Jake will do better than these devils, man. Right? You get these Nigerian kids that are coming out, and they be better than Esau, man. Right? It was something, I don't know if it's this year or last year, but the smartest family was a so-called Nigerian family. You look at Sheku Kane Mason, right? The Jake that played the cello at this what was this woman's wedding, man? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding. Right, their family is just, he's a talented. He won a classical musician of the year or something. His sister's bad on the keys, right? And Esau doesn't like that, man. That's why, hey, you watch them crowds, man. You look at them people that are in the crowd that row, and they didn't like the fact that it was Jake not rapping, not not just singing, right, but doing something that they would say, takes a lot of skill and talent. But once again, right, Jake hasn't got financial access to them things, right? It's not like a piano where you can just get a piano and you can just get good at it. Well, you have to be taught how to play the cello. You have to be taught how to play the violin. All of those instruments there, right? Which is why they're happy seeing Jake winning stuff like this. Blah, 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 blah. Right, but as soon as Jake starts showing intellect, that's when they have problem. That's why they have problem with us, right? Because while we're showing, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, we're showing that we understand these scriptures, right? And they don't like it, man, right? Because they think we just supposed to be some dumb niggas, man. Right, what they don't understand is this thing is spiritual. Right, let me get this real quick. It says Amos 3:7. It says, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret. And what's his secret? It was these scriptures, right? The understanding of these scriptures, right? It says, unto his servants, the prophets. Right, so the understanding of these scriptures has been given up, starting, from the apostles on down, right? The understanding of these scriptures. And they don't like that. You look at back in slavery, and that's the hypocrisy of Esau, right? Because he said, oh, you niggas are just dumb. You're just dumb. Yeah. If a nigga got, a Jake slut, or a so-called black man got caught reading, reading anything, right? He was punished. If he got caught reading the Bible, he was killed. So now it must be really paining them that not only can we read, right, well, that we can read these scriptures and have the understanding of these scriptures, and that we can confound them through the power of the Lord, right? They don't like that, right? You get these devils come up to the camp, right, and then they'll try go into a bit of history, thinking that brothers don't know that bit of history, and then brothers will confound them with their own history that they brought up, or they might bring up the sciences, and then brothers will just explain, right, succinctly why they're full of shit, right, in a logical manner, right? This is Genesis 25:23. It says, and Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, right? It says, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, right? And this is talking about Jacob and Esau. Jacob being, the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called Negro, the so-called Hispanic, right? The so-called Native Americans, right? The Seminole Indians, right? And Esau being, the progenitor of the so-called white race, the so-called white man, right? No, we do teach that you're going to have Israelites that look like so-called white people, that look like so-called Chinese people, which is why it's, it's all by the line of the Father, pursuant to Numbers 1:18, right? It says, so let me continue. It says, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder, right? Esau came out first. Esau's the elder, shall serve the younger. So Esau's going to serve us, right? So, but the point I wanted to get there is the one people shall be stronger than the other people. That's physically, right? We're stronger, we're faster, we're better. And given the chance, right? Given the same amount of, because this man's a devil. He knows what he's doing, right? He knows how, for instance, in J neighborhood, he basically pushes at this idea of you got to be dumb to be a J. I remember growing up, right? Like I said at the top, and I went to a predominantly white middle class primary school, so that's what up until 11, 12 years old, right? And people be like, why are you using big words, or why are you talking white, as if to say that having speaking proper English, right, is somehow and having intelligence is somehow attributed to the so-called white man. But where did they get that idea from? That's the shit that Esau's been pushing in the media, which is all part of keeping Jake dumb. Because Esau knows he can't beat us on the field. He knows he can't beat us on on what you call it, on the gymnastics or whatever. He knows he can't beat us on the dance floor. Right. So the only bastion of hope he had was the was trying to beat us in the books. But little does he know that, hey, Jake is still smarter there too, man. Right? He can't hide it anymore. Right? It says Genesis 3:15. It says, I'll put enmity, right, between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? So that enmity, that's part, and that's one of the reasons these Edomites hate Jake, because we're better than them. Right? Hey, try, if you work with an Edomite, prove one of your Edomite colleagues wrong. They don't like that shit. They look at you with disdain and hatred. Right? Why? Because they're supposed to be the smart one. You make them, not saying go around, scriptures say, be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. I'm not saying just go around and do some dumb shit, right? But you say one of your Edomite co-workers might suggest X and Y, right? But then you say, nah, that's a bad reason because, because of A, B, and C, right? And look at his face, just fell, right? Because he's thinking, man, you just supposed to be a nigga. You ain't supposed to be, smarter than anything. But that goes back to that enmity, man. That hatred that he has for you, right? Be better than him at something that he thinks he's good at. Which is why, like I said before, that's why they have a hatred for the apostles on down, because we're breaking these scriptures down, and these Christians, these Edomite Christians, they can't hack it, man. Because they're being made to look stupid about something that they probably have to spend £80,000 or $80,000, right? To learn, but then they don't know shit, but they don't understand this thing is spiritual, so I've spoken a lot in this one, so I'll just wrap this up. Lord's will, that was edifying. Till the next time, shalom.